Hey there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we're going to be looking at all different types of firearm conversions and finding out what messed up parents you had by what they say about you.
All right, I'm gonna go cry.
So sit back, get your therapist on the phone, and let's start the show. First up is the kit most people think of when you hear the word conversion kits. It's the CAA family. They make a fun little range toy and work as intended, but if you're the type of person whose nightstand gun is one of these, then you were probably really bad at sports as a child and you're afraid of rifle recoil. You spent years getting piano lessons, and having a tight wrist to shoot a pistol is a foreign concept to you, so you rely on this chassis to manage it for you. You also let your wife manage the bills, your wardrobe, and entertainment. The only reason you're watching this right now is because she's at her weekly Thursday brunch with her yoga instructor, Darren.
I'll allow it.
You have every single accessory you can put on this thing, including a red dot with a flip-up 3x magnifier, backup irons, an IR laser, and a visible one. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about the just as good flashlight that comes with the kit. Pro tip, bud, lose that 50-round Pro Mag drum. It makes you look more incompetent than you really are, and that's saying something.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Are you the type of person to LS swap a Lincoln Continental? Well, congratulations on making Gun Jesus hate you, because you know you're the same type of person to sporterize a military surplus rifle, or even worse, give it that FUD tactical approach and try to modernize something that's old enough to have watched your grandmother being conceived. Yeah, try to get that one out of your head. It's what you deserve for butchering up history just like that.
Nobody likes you.
Just because you have Dremels in a file does not mean you need to use them on everything that you find in the pawn shop. Some things really are better kept in original condition. Yeah, it might be more ergonomic now, but it was designed to actually function correctly, and now you've chopped it up into something out of a bad sci-fi movie, and you've done nothing but disappoint your ancestors yet again. As a kid, you were a low B to high C student that nobody paid attention to. You eventually thought if you just made some of these bizarre amalgamations, somebody would find you interesting. But actually, everyone's really more worried about you moving to a cabin alone in the woods. If you don't live alone in the woods, come hang out with me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/TundraGamingLive, where we are not a cult. Mostly, I promise. It is said any ship carrying a great Pico totem upon its bridge shall travel in safety, peace, and very chill vibes. Let me ask you guys something. What did you think of Grand Thumb's latest video? Do you think his conclusions were correct? If you're still listening to this while heading on over to type out your answer, then your kit is a 22 conversion for your AR-15. You get out and train as much as possible, but with the price jumps, you had to cut back to 22 long rifle for training. You couldn't possibly break into that 5,000 round stash for when things go deep south.
I got blisters on me fingers!
And you really can't touch that additional 2,500 rounds you keep for actual training classes. You have all the gear you see Garantham or John Lovell even mention, and you have 3 Glocks he retired because one has John's signature on it, the other has Garantham's, and the holy grail, you have that Gen 5 with both their signatures on it. You, by the way, plan on using that Glock's auction price to retire on. If you want to keep up on the latest reviews, make sure to check out and subscribe to the new ARFCOM reviews channel. They just dropped a review of the new Springfield Echelon pistol, and our buddy Spicy told us it's a pretty solid gun. Link will be in the description because my writer wrote these words, so I'm sure he's gonna take care of that. Does your conversion kit make your AR no longer function like a true AR should? Well, you live in California. Yep, we're bringing up that bullet button nonsense again. You grew up in California and you love living there, and in many ways, I don't really blame you. You have a little bit of everything. Beautiful beaches, weather, and scenery. Unless, of course, you live in a city, in which case you most likely hate your blue-haired neighbor almost as much as they hate the truck you drive because the pollution is causing their PTSD flare-ups or whatever. Every time Governor No Sense passes another infringement on your rights, you comply while saying, that's the last time I'm gonna do that. We all know that you're full of it and are just gonna keep watching Reno May for advice on what to do despite how many times he tells you he's not giving you advice. You know what's better for mag dumping than those 100-round beta mags? Belt fed. That's right, you have a belt fed upper for that one lower that functions mostly normally, even after you had that little accident in the metal shop and dropped a little fragment of a twisted coat hanger into it. You're a true rebel, and you live every day like it.
Wink, wink.
Your favorite movie is Red Dawn, and you love watching Brandon Herrera shoot those little sissy white claws. You're constantly trading one used vehicle for another used vehicle just to work on them long enough to make it worth selling or trading in for something better. Despite having done this for years, you are still driving a beat-up lifted vehicle with 3 different colors on it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Parties at your place usually involve the fire department showing up and at least 3 broken cabinet doors. There are only 2 rules you live by. A, raise hell, praise Dale. And number 2, smash that thumbs up button. There's a fly here. Have you ever seen a rifle? Maybe a rifle that has seen service for decades, a proven, reliable, trusted platform, and thought, let's see how bad I can make it. Well, then you're the I can bullpup anything guy. You probably tried to join the Marines, but were so out of shape you got booted out for not passing the PT standards. Honestly, do you know how much of a loser you have to be for the Marines to not even want to beat you into shape? You have a personal and irrational hatred of all things ergonomic and just want to see it all burn. You see things that look comfortable and just decide to cut them down into a smaller, less comfortable version of that thing. You clearly have no interest in marksmanship since you decided that having the possibility of a good trigger is just a bad idea. The only upside is when you reload, it reminds you that it's time to put on some deodorant again. All this because you lost the spelling bee in the 4th grade to that dorky kid with the micro-roni when the word ergonomic came up.
Thanks, Obama.
Is 3-gun competition your weekly activity? Do you also struggle with some of your bills?
Yup!
Well, then you're the I can convert anything into a race gun guy. You spend hours scouring the web, including some sketchy Russian websites, looking for that one part that's gonna make your Mini 14 a split-time magic wand. You run these guns unironically and tell people at the range that you just like to train with what you have, when in reality, you don't want to tell them that you're too poor for anything else.
You suck!
Your Dremel skills are second to none. You lightning cut your way through every receiver that you can get your hands on. You see people with unfluted barrels and you cringe that they would even live like that. In reality, when people see anything you've ever worked on, they instantly take photos of it and send it to Brandon Herrera for cursed gun images, and sadly, you've been on there more than once now. Just quit while you're behind. Way behind. If your conversion kit is a Wish.com Glock switch, then you are most likely a criminal. We don't condone this type of behavior at all, and as a friendly PSA, let me just start by...
Gotcha.